get some advice on it from our Birmingham studio. Right there for us is Matthew Blackett. He's a lecturer in natural hazards at Coventry University. Matthew, thanks very much for joining us. How bad is this going to be?
Well, to be honest, we don't really know at the moment. As we know, weather forecasts are notoriously hard to accurately quantify. We're never 100% sure. But the storm is still brewing, so we have to wait and see really, probably a few more hours before we can know for sure.
But the thing is that this storm hasn't even developed yet, has it? So what exactly are they tracking?
That's right, the storm is currently developing, so a low pressure system is forming, I believe, somewhere off the coast, the west coast of Ireland. And it's being pushed on by the jet stream. As it intensifies, the low pressure will become greater and greater, will suck more and more air in, and has the potential to, as these winds are sucked in, as the air is sucked in, will generate very strong winds.
And how unusual is it for the Met Office to be putting warnings out about this when it hasn't even developed and we're a few days ahead of it?
I couldn't tell you another time when they have done this. Perhaps they are covering their backs. I guess it's better to be safe than sorry, but they wouldn't be doing this were they not a little bit concerned, I'm sure.
Right, okay. So we should actually really be quite taking this pretty seriously. How would you think this could compare to previous storms? I mean, a lot of us still remember the great storm of 1987. I got a day off school as a result, but there was a lot of damage and we weren't expecting it. Do you think they're covering themselves in advance of something like that? Could it be that big?
I think that's exactly what they're doing. I too had a day off school following that event. There are lots of similarities, there are lots of differences from the current forecasts, which I've said they're never accurate, 100% accurate. The winds aren't forecast to be as strong, the pressure is not forecast to be as low. However, some of the similarities, we've still got trees that have their leaves on them, so it's likely that we could get some being uprooted if the winds do develop to these storm force that they're expecting.
I'd be glad to, my producer in my ear just said you don't look old enough to have had a day off when that great storm hit in 1987. But last question to you. What should people be doing to prepare for this? Anything out of the ordinary?
I think just keep an eye on the news, keep an eye on the Met Office website. Anything that's loose in your garden, perhaps you want to bring in any bins, that sort of thing. Just make sure that anything that's not tied down is brought inside to safety, because you don't want to lose it and you don't want it to be harming anyone else. Perhaps don't park your car under a tree either if you can help it.
Okay, good advice. Matthew Blackett, thank you very much for joining us from Birmingham.
Thank you.
After my ridiculous attempt to do the weather, let's